Do you want to be able to make epic thumbnails like these for free? Well, this is the video for you.
Just a quick note before we begin. Control and scrolling zooms in and out on your canvas. Control and pressing the scroll wheel down lets you move the canvas around. First thing you're gonna want to do is open up GIMP. Once it's done loading, go over to File, New, then set your project to 1920 by 1080p. Go into Advanced Settings and set your canvas to Transparency. Now that we have our project set up, we need a background, so let's go to the World Wide Web and find a good one. I found a background that I like, so I downloaded it and dragged it into the project. Now to find the main subject of the thumbnail. I want the subject of this thumbnail to be the polka cat meme, because I think that would be funny. Drag that into GIMP. Now I'll do a little bit of repositioning with the resize tool. In order to cut our subject out from the background, we need to use the freeform select tool. To select, simply click, move your mouse and click again. Do this all the way around your image until it is fully selected. Once your object is selected, press Ctrl-I to invert your selection and Ctrl-X to delete the background. Now I'm gonna reposition my cat a bit more. That's probably where I'll leave him. Now time to create our juicy text. Select the text tool and go to your canvas. Then click and drag to create your text layer. Type in whatever you want your text to be. I'll just change the color of the text to white so it's easier to see. Now for the font, you usually want to choose a thick, juicy text. In this case I'm using measured. Now I'm going to just resize my text a bit to make it roughly the size I want it to be in the final thumbnail. Change the color of the text to what you want it to be. Next, create a blank layer and drag it above your text. Right-click on your text layer and click Alpha to Selection. Once your text is selected, go to Select, then Shrink. Shrink your text by about 7. Now on our new layer we are going to use the gradient tool and find a good gradient for your text color. In this case I'll be using this blue gradient. Click and drag to create your gradient. Now play around with it until it looks just right. When you're done with gradients, you're gonna want to add a delicious and tasty blur. Go over to Filters and click Blurs, then select Gaussian Blur. Now you can adjust the blur to your like by dragging this slider up and down. Right-click on your gradient layer and merge it down onto your text layer. Now we're going to create a stroke on our text. First do Alpha to Selection on your text again, but this time grow by about 10 to 12. Create a new layer and bring it under our text layer. Now on that layer go over to the color panel and draw black on the selection. When you're done, merge your text layers on top of the stroke layers. Let's add a drop shadow to make our text stand out just a little bit more. Go to Filters, then Light and Shadow, and select Drop Shadow. Now you can play around with those settings until it looks good. I'm going to add a stroke to the cat, but this time I'm going to make it white. I'll add a little Gaussian blur to make it sort of glowy. I'm just going to adjust the cat's brightness and contrast a bit to make him look a bit more scrumptious. Now to give him laser eyes, select the free select tool and create a new layer. Select the bottom half of the cat's eye. And then add a line going off the canvas. And finish the selection, making sure that the end of the line is wider than the start to show perspective. On the new layer, fill that selection with red. Now on another layer we're gonna do something similar to what we did with the gradients by selecting the lasers and shrinking that selection by about 5 pixels. Fill that with white. On the layer of red, we'll add a blur to make it nice and glowy. Merge the white layer onto the red layer and you've got some sick laser eyes. I want to make our cat look extra powerful, so I'll be adding this superpower overlay behind the cat. First reposition it to roughly where you want it to go. Then set the layer mode to screen and all of that black background will disappear like magic. Now we're pretty much done. I'll just do some final adjustments. Here is the final result. Hopefully this video will help you with your thumbnails, and peace.